Designing landing pages, best platforms for B2B lead generation in 2025. Why B2B landing pages matter more than ever in 2025. If you're still sending paid clicks or cold email traffic to a generic homepage in 2025, you're choosing friction over pipeline. Webio's research puts the average B2B website conversion rate at about 1%, which means most teams pay for attention they never turn into leads. A dedicated landing page fixes that by giving each visitor one clear path from message to action. We see this constantly in Outbound. The email is tight, the targeting is solid, but the destination page is trying to speak to everyone at once. For a sales-led team or an outsourced sales team working multiple segments, the landing page is where intent gets captured and routed into the SDR workflow. When the page matches the outreach script, meeting volume climbs without needing more traffic. This is especially true when you're working with a cold email agency, a cold calling agency, or running your own outbound sales agency motion internally. The click is only the midpoint. The real objective is clean lead data, fast routing, and a follow-up experience that feels like a continuation of the conversation, not a random form on a random page. The conversion gap, homepage traffic versus focused landing pages. The math is brutal. A typical B2B site converting at 1% turns 10,000 visitors into 100 leads, while strong landing pages can sit in the 10 to 14% range. Benchmarks summarized by Blogging Wizard include an average 13.3% conversion rate for B2B landing pages built on Wishpon's platform, highlighting how sharply focused offers outperform generic site journeys. That delta is the difference between SDRs fighting for scraps and SDRs qualifying opportunities. It also scales with segmentation. HubSpot data summarized in the same benchmark set shows sites with 41+ landing pages generate roughly 12x more leads than sites with only 1 to 5 pages, because each campaign can speak to a specific persona, use case, or vertical. In practice, that means your one page becomes a system. Pages map to your ICP slices and the offers your reps can actually convert. When we build Outbound for clients at SalesHive, we treat landing pages as a core lever in the pay-per-meeting lead generation equation. More relevant pages create better self-qualification, fewer junk submissions, and faster downstream velocity. And once leads are coming in, response time becomes a multiplier. Reps who follow up within 5 minutes are reported to be 9 times more likely to convert that inquiry. Design around the follow-up, not just the form fill. A landing page isn't successful when someone submits a form. It's successful when an SDR connects and books a meeting. That's why the first landing page decision shouldn't be templates. It should be data flow. Your page needs to pass the right context, persona, topic, offer, stage, and urgency signals into your CRM and sequences so reps can personalize outreach instead of guessing. Start by mapping one end-to-end path from click to meeting: the ad or cold email promise, the page headline, the CTA, the form fields, the CRM record, and the exact first touch sequence. If you're using sales outsourcing or working with SDR agencies, document this flow even more tightly. Handoffs fail when the lead source is unclear, the fields are inconsistent, or alerts don't reach the right rep. This is also where list building services and targeting discipline show their value. Great landing pages can't rescue the wrong audience, and great lists can't rescue the wrong page. The best results happen when the list, message, page, and SDR script use the same positioning blocks, so prospects hear the same pains, outcomes, and proof points across email, page, and call. Choosing the right platform, Prioritize CRM integration and testing speed. Most teams don't need one perfect tool. They need a simple, reliable stack. In a sales-led environment, your CRM is the system of record, often HubSpot or Salesforce, and your landing page platform should make lead routing, attribution, and user permissions painless. If your platform choice creates manual exports or messy field mapping, it will slow your SDR agency motion and quietly reduce meeting volume. We recommend assigning clear ownership, one place for core site pages, one place for high-velocity experiments, and one place where lead data becomes actionable for follow-up. Many B2B teams run Webflow or WordPress for the main site, then use a specialized CRO tool like Unbounce or Instapage for campaign-specific pages that need heavy A/B testing, personalization, and rapid iteration. The goal is not more tools, but fewer bottlenecks between marketing execution and sales execution. Use the comparison below as a starting point, then validate against your real workflow, routing rules, SLA alerts, enrichment, and how easily your team can spin up variants for different outbound segments, including LinkedIn outreach services or cold calling services that drive to a specific offer. A landing page isn't done when someone converts. It's done when sales turns that context into a meeting. Build pages that convert, focus, relevance, and smarter forms. High-performing B2B landing pages do one thing. They reduce decision-making. Keep the message match tight between the cold email, ad, or call to action and the page headline, and drive visitors to a single primary CTA. When prospects don't have to interpret what's being offered, you reduce bounce, improve conversion, and give your cold callers a cleaner follow-up narrative. Form strategy is the make or break lever, and the data is clear. When forms request more than 7 fields, average abandonment can hit 67.8%. For top-of-funnel offers, the practical sweet spot is usually 3 to 5 fields, enough to route and personalize, not so much that you choke conversion. When you need deeper qualification, use multi-step flows or progressive profiling, so hard questions appear only after the prospect signals high intent. This protects your SDR calendar without starving the funnel. Early-stage content can stay low friction, while demo and consultation pages can ask for phone, timeline, or a key qualifier because the visitor has opted into a sales conversation. That's how you keep lead volume healthy and meeting quality high, whether you're hiring internally or you plan to hire SDRs through a sales development agency. Common mistakes that quietly destroy pipeline and how to fix them. The most expensive mistake is still the most common: sending campaign traffic to the homepage. Homepages are built to serve every persona, so visitors wander, click around, and disappear, especially from outbound, where intent starts higher but patience is lower. The fix is simple and repeatable. Create campaign-specific pages where the headline mirrors the outreach, navigation is minimized, and the CTA is aligned to one next step. The second mistake is treating the form like a discovery call. Asking for budget, phone, and every detail up front can cut conversion dramatically, and it often backfires by creating bad data, fake numbers, burner emails, or abandoned submissions. Build a field policy by funnel stage and make sure RevOps and sales sign off on which fields actually change prioritization and messaging for your outbound sales agency motion. The third mistake is choosing platforms based on price or templates instead of integration. A pretty page that doesn't route correctly into HubSpot or Salesforce creates manual work, dirty lifecycle stages, and slow follow-up. Exactly what kills performance for sales outsourcing teams. Evaluate platforms by CRM, MA integrations, lead routing, roles and approvals, and testing velocity first. Design polish comes after the system works. Optimization levers that compound: speed, personalization, and always-on testing. Speed is pipeline. Portent's findings, summarized in industry benchmarks, show pages loading in under 1 second can convert at 31.79%, and each additional second of delay can cost roughly 7% of conversions. If you're paying for clicks or driving outbound traffic, a slow page is the same as lighting budget on fire, because prospects never even see your offer. Personalization is the second compounding lever when it's done with restraint and relevance. Instapage reports B2B brands that personalize web experiences can see around an 80% increase in conversion rate. But the win usually comes from role, industry, and stage alignment, not from creepy, "we know who you are" tactics. Swap proof points, case studies, and CTAs based on what the visitor actually signaled, and your SDR follow-up becomes more specific by default. Finally, treat A/B testing like a standing meeting, not a one-off project. Forrester Research, cited in 2025 optimization coverage, points to typical lifts of 15 to 45% for high-performing teams running ongoing experiments. Assign a clear owner, keep one meaningful test live at all times, and report not just conversion rate, but MQL to SQL and meeting set rate, because sales outcomes are what justify the work. Next steps: a practical landing page operating system for 2025. If you want this to work across ads, inbound, and outbound, start with a single documented flow. Click to page, to form, to CRM, to sequence, to booked meeting. Define response time SLAs for high-intent pages, because the 9x follow-up advantage within 5 minutes only helps if your alerts and routing actually work. This is where RevOps discipline matters as much as design. Then, standardize a small set of reusable templates based on intent level: a low-friction template for guides and webinars, a mid-funnel template for case studies and ROI tools, and a bottom-funnel template for demos and consultations. Keep the layout consistent, but make the messaging blocks easy to swap so your cold calling team and marketing team can stay aligned as campaigns evolve. The goal is speed without chaos. At SalesHive, we've learned that landing pages don't book meetings on their own. Distribution and follow-up do. When your pages are segmented, fast, and integrated, your SDR agency motion becomes easier to scale. Better targeting, cleaner context, faster outreach, and higher meeting quality. Whether you're evaluating SalesHive reviews, thinking through SalesHive pricing, or comparing cold calling companies, use landing pages as the common thread that turns every channel into measurable pipeline.